welcome to Film Study, an all-American podcast with Lexi. I'm Lexi. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff, all of those good things. I'm super hyped because not only for the episode turned out for 504, but because of my next guest, Brittany Love. Listen,
yes,
so many people when your first reaction video came out was like, get her on the podcast, and I was like, look, it's already in the works.
I didn't know what to expect. That was so funny. I was just like, listen, before I did that, like, I wasn't following no fans yet of the show or anything. I was like, man, I've been waiting for this moment. I need to show my excitement. Like, it's only so much I can tweet or type. I'm like, no, y'all need to see how I feel about these two, because it's been 18 years of waiting.
It's been 86 years. It's the Titanic, and we
out here. And now I'm just like, I'm so excited to just do these for y'all. It's been real fun.
We have enjoyed it.
I'm glad.
Love it. Like I was also like fans of my podcast asking me to get you on. I was just like, I too am a fan, like asking myself to get her on. Like,
that is so cool. I was like, yes, I'm not alone, because I didn't care who watched it. I was like, I just need to post. Hopefully a Jordala fan or two see it, and we just ride together. Even if it's the three of us, we gonna ride together. But it's a whole bunch of y'all say yes, we out here.
Bad boys for life.
We winning, yeah, so I'm excited. Bad boys. So we represent, and I am Team Jordala. And it's just, my love for them is only getting stronger. I'm so hype. I'm just like, but I am upset about something.
Okay, well, we'll get to it.
Overall.
So we know your Team Jordala. We know your Team Jordala, but Turn Down for What? Episode 504, written by Adrian Dukes. Just clap it up for Adrian Dukes. I think that was like one of the best. I think this is going to go down as one of the best All-American episodes, just like period, I think.
No, it was really good. It was like everybody's story, Grace, oh my gosh, that was just, because I love me some Grace.
Oh, you do?
So it was just so,
we'll have some fun conversations, because I hate her.
I love me Grace.
I hate Grace so much.
No!
But we'll get to it. We'll get to it. What were your overall thoughts on the episode?
It was a very fun episode. Like, it was very entertaining to watch, which I love. Like, one thing I love about All American overall is that it makes me laugh. Like, that shit. Like, it's a serious show, very serious parts, but it makes me laugh. So I love that when serious shows can, like, give me something to laugh about through all the drama, because
there's a lot of drama.
This drama be ghetto as hell. I'm like, yes, I'm like, but can I laugh? Can we laugh about it? And I think that's what All American does. And I think this episode was just well done.
For sure.
I'm gonna get to my faves soon, but it was just one thing. I was just like, yeah, we are robbed. But other than that, I think the whole episode was
feel like
good.
I know where this is going.
Watching it from like beginning to start. Of course, yes, I was focusing on like, Jordan and Layla most of the time. So I only watched everybody else scenes like one time. But I definitely will watch the whole episode again. Because usually when I watch All American, I watch it one time, the whole thing through, and then just go back to Jordan and Layla throughout.
Yeah, we know who you are.
But I was like, I'll watch this one.
You said I gotta be in the podcast. I gotta watch it all the way through
again. Yeah. Let me just watch it all the way through. No, I always do that anyway, but I think I'm gonna watch it all the way through again, because I usually don't watch it all the way through again. I just go back to my favorite parts of the episode. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna study this one more.
It's a good one. It's a good one. So sort of off the bat, we get a little flash forward with Spencer in the bed with someone. We find out that someone is Liv near the end of the episode, and we'll get to that. But he's in bed with somebody. And then sort of we flash, he gets this call from Coop that his parents, Grace is in jail, and so are the Baker parents and Denise and everyone else. And so sort of he has to go and bail them out. And then we flip to one day earlier where, wedding preparations are in full swing. Like Denise, our fave, is back. She always brings a good time.
Yes, she is funny. I was like, thank
Talk
you.
about the one-liners. I'm gonna just throw out the one-liners because we don't even have time to get like to all of them. But like, I feel stretched all over the place. Save that for your wedding night. Loved it.
No, that really had me fall. I should include because I did record myself falling out to that part. I mean, it wasn't related to Jordan and Layla, but I might just throw that in there because that was like real funny.
That
to
is
me.
hilarious. And so then we got the first mention of like Grace's sister that we'll get to in a second. Usually I do this by plot line or by character, and I literally have to go by like plotline and character because so much was happening in this episode. So quickly we get
It was so much in that episode. They should have split that
they
up.
should have. It should have been a two-parter. It should have been a two-parter. But honestly, watching it, I feel like when it hits Netflix and we get to see it sort of just through without interruptions, it's gonna go by much smoother without.
It's gonna flow.
Yeah, without the commercial breaks.
Yeah, that's true.
But so then we get to the rehearsal dinner, and the families are getting along, and we get this getting along mostly for the most part. Besides the spades game, there's so many. You know, there's black writers in the room. There's so many hints to it, right? With the spades game getting out of hand, and everybody was just. And then Spencer says this line, right? Everybody is on their best behavior. Cut to
best behavior.
Then cut to Jordan and Layla. Jordan and Layla, maybe not on their best behavior.
I was screaming. I said no.
And look, no. We gonna get back to that. We gonna get back to that. I just wanted to tease it a little bit. Tease it a little bit. Really, really quickly. As we mentioned, Denise is a part of the wedding plans. So you know, Grace has this idea that, you know, she's gonna take a quiet, chill night. Like, right, what did she say up at the top? Like, she's just like, I don't want to do anything. Girl. She kept saying that, and it's like, girl, this is your wedding night. Like, have some fun. Have some fun.
It's your
literally.
Listen. I get her though. I understand, but I'm like, girl,
get it together.
Go have some
Get it together. Get it together expeditiously.
I agree. Please. Fast. Okay.
Fast, quick, and in a hurry. And so, literally, so Denise and Laura kidnap her and surprise her, and they surprise her with her sister. Okay, this was a little questionable. I have to add this because Larisha said that Spencer and Dylan called her, but then later when Spencer picked her up, he was like surprised that she was there. So I'm kind of confused about how
was he pretending.
I have no clue.
Was he pretending? That was
a little tiny plot hole. Maybe he was just surprised.
I mean, that'd be happening in these shows. Yeah. I'm like, they don't be thinking sometimes. I'm like, y'all know we gonna catch this, right?
Yeah, like, so I was like, who ended up calling this girl?
That happens so much in TV shows.
So much. But they do this little scavenger hunt. They go out, they get some strippers, right? Like. Yeah.
Strippers. So funny. That was cute.
Larisha going to just Reese.
Larisha.
Then saying like little friend. Denise was tired of little Reese.
Didn't he say little one more time? Oh my goodness. Say little one more time. Don't play with Denise.
This reminded me of my friend Carmen so much. When she said, if you can't find a man to stay with you past checkout time, just say that. Just say that.
That's it. Then just say that part. Oh my!
So and it's like it's always that one person that's doing too much, ruining everything,
doing the most at all time. But they said, "Hey, we gotta have the drama."
She's her sister, a sister that we've literally
and it's
never
the sister.
Heard about.
I love that. What is the actress name?
I don't know.
I've seen her in
but she was good. She was good.
I know she was in she was in the game.
For real?
I remember her really from the game. Yeah, so I was just like, wait, I love that girl.
As an actor, I appreciated her sort of jumping right in and not, you know, she went through I feel like a gang of emotions over the course of the episode, and it didn't feel like she missed a beat, and I really respect it because that's really hard to do on an established show.
She was
5
really
seasons in. You're supposed to be this like character that has this, you know, you're a sibling of someone that you've known, and this is your first time ever being introduced.
Known since the season
literally.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
She did a really good job. They did. She was up to task. But again, really loved the energy that Denise kept bringing, and And
That was a
Larisha
real fun
again.
episode.
It was. I feel like
Both of them.
both of them had a really good sort of back and forth, like the where is she gonna wear that like tea with Lady Bridgerton, and then she was just like, oh, I told her to my gift was stealing the sign, and she was like, plus a necklace, it's really expensive. I was like, girl.
Oh my gosh, it was just too much.
Just
I can't
so
wait to
many
watch
fun.
that scene because
It-
I was cackling at those.
So many
Yes,
good things.
I'm gonna watch that again for sure.
But the heart of that moment, the heart of this moment was that, you know, Grace's sister doesn't really know her, and so we'll get back to that as we get back to the wedding. But she was feeling a type of way because, you know, she has this friendship with Denise and Laura that she wasn't a part of, and this is a new Grace, right? A Grace that like takes risks and has adventures, and she wasn't familiar with this person.
Yeah, because she's like, where was this Grace? Yeah,
when you had to pay $3,000 bail because we went out the last time.
Yes, I was like, dang,
that's a lot of money. $3,000.
Like, well, if you would have turned, I was just, yes, that is. I'm like, I see why you listen. I see the distance. That's sad because money and stuff can really just. It's sad how that can break away family too.
Yeah,
like,
well, she was mentioning that she was just like, and where were you when our parents were like deteriorating? I was like,
it was a lot of it with that.
There were like so many like just quick like drama.
Yeah,
you will get this drama if it's the last thing I do.
I'm like, let's see some flashbacks of that because it was real over there back in the day.
Truly.
Like, dang. But I love that. I'm loving hearing more about like Grace and like her family and stuff. So yeah,
it was giving very much Think Like a Man, which I guessed. I felt like it was going to give Think Like a Man.
It was very, yes.
I'm glad that storyline at least gave, because Preach Billy Carter was a snooze.
I love that Preach is still in the show. He makes me so happy. Like,
I'm not gonna say any thoughts. Like, I'm not gonna say any thoughts on the character of Preach.
Still,
I've already talked about this. Kareem, I love you.
Lord,
and I'll leave it at that. I love you, Kareem.
I need to watch those. I'm just curious about your thoughts on Grace because, first of all,
okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay.
So anyway, like I said, the bachelorette, which, you know, Billy was just like, you know, my bachelor party made Hangover like look like a Bible study. So it was about him and Carter like growing up or whatever. So they ended up going to this liquor store, sipping cigars, a cigar like lounge or whatever, talking about 401k.
Yeah.
Number one, and here's the other parent I hate. The only parent I love is Laura. The other parent I hate, Billy Baker, talking about some answering Preach's question about Grace, and it's just like, I hate you so much. And my audience already knows, so I don't even need to get into it, but what are your thoughts on that?
Billy do irk my nerves. Yeah, Billy irks my nerves. Yeah, I would agree with that. I just feel like the way he is, like, I wouldn't be married to him personally.
No, he's a horrible husband, horrible father.
Oh, damn! No, for real though, the father part, he could do better. My boy.
And like, the husband part.
And the husband part. Much better. And of course, the husband part.
But here's the thing. It's like, because
the separation.
It's because, look, he is only a father to Spencer and only a husband to his Gracie, as we saw when he was just like, here are the reasons why Grace, you know, why you should fall in love with Grace. Sir, you have a whole life.
Yeah, he definitely wanted to still be with Grace. I felt that throughout the whole thing.
The writers are just like poking
drama.
Fun at themselves at this point. For,
yeah,
like,
they are. Yeah. They are. They do that
for this
a lot,
relationship.
They'll they'll do that a lot. One thing I love about the writers is when they bring up the Vortex in the episodes. I'm like, y'all are so dumb. Like, because, man, like, that's the main hater, like, you know, I just complaints you see when it comes to the show is Vortex days. Everybody dated each other, but I love when they bring it up in the show because they're just like, obviously they don't care. They're
being very self-aware. Yeah,
they love poking fun at themselves. So I'm like, shout out to All American.
Speaking of the Vortex, we all know it ended in jail. They got bailed out. Blah 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 blah. Cool. Speaking of the Vortex, game night. So JJ, who's really intent on finding this person in the pantsuit, is lurking in the corners, wondering who could this be.
The way JJ was looking at Coop
Literally.
took me out. I was just like, I'm not about to play with JJ.
Not about to play with JJ. And so he
looking. Oh my gosh.
And the funny thing is, I feel like I got with my predictions, I got sort of the outline of the show correct, and they're like small little details that I did not get
Oh, really?
correct. Yeah. So I thought the game night was going to take place after the the party, but really like they left the party to do this game night.
They do that, yeah.
And so JJ organizes this game night. Dylan, number one, it was like, why is Dylan coming to a Vortex meeting?
Why is Dylan here? Right.
But I overlooked it because we never get Dylan, so I was just like, I miss Dylan, so let's bring it
listen, I was happy. That's one thing I loved about the episode. I was like, Dylan is here.
Dylan is here.
Why y'all be... He is so many episodes he be missing out.
Because Jalen is booked and busy. Like, Jalen is booked and busy.
Yeah, he is, I guess. I'm like, boy, but come to your show, please, because I miss you. Like,
to go see.
So
Till
they were like,
theaters.
Look, Dylan here. This is the only day we can keep him.
Literally.
So let's throw him in the Vortex.
Literally,
meeting. Let's throw him in this scene.
Literally,
I'm surprised they didn't throw him in the bus with the mom.
Please,
like go turn up with the mom.
No,
be in every scene.
Please, that would be hilarious.
But I'm happy he was there.
Me
it's
too.
So funny.
Me too. And so then they're talking about having a game night, and they're just like, oh, we suck at game nights. Game nights are not our thing, and it's not. The game nights never.
Yeah, they're not. They listen.
And so, anyway, Spencer ends up saying, I'm fine for a game night. I just got to be somewhere later. We're going to come back. There's a lot of things we're coming back to, but we're going to put a pin in that real quick. What they end up doing during this game night is playing Who Is More Likely To. Coop has this really funny... Coop has this really funny scene or line where she's just like, why don't we just play Taboo like regular black folk? And I'm like, come through. Because we do be playing Taboo. Taboo gets heated though. But Taboo gets heated.
It really does, but it is so entertaining.
It is.
Oh my gosh! Like I don't know any black people who don't know what Taboo is. So
So yeah. I just love that. Well, and then the little line at JJ, and I'm like, okay, be calm, JJ. be calm with the "you're close enough." Let's not do that yet. Let's not do that yet.
No, I really want to bring up the JJ line with Jordan. And
We're gonna get to
really
it.
had me weak. I was like, yes, I'm sorry. Okay. Love me some JJ, I swear.
JJ is hilarious. And so they end up playing Who's More Likely To. And they go through Spencer's texting someone, and they tell Spencer not to, they're just like, pay attention, focus. They split into teams, all that stuff. And so they go through this series of questions, right? Who is most likely to end up drunk in a tank? I'm gonna skip around some of the questions here, right? Like who's more likely to have a threesome?
Really, yeah.
And Spencer tried to protect Dylan. Dylan was like, no. Both of those were JJ, by the way. Yeah, right.
Yes.
And we get some more interesting things, like who's most likely to send a corny text, right? And listen,
freaking Layla, what's his name?
My man.
You see, even the way Jordan was written on the dang board was all cute and stuff. I said, girl, but she said, Jay.
Well, here's the thing, because she was like, everybody was just like, yeah, it's Jordan, and obviously she was like, yeah, but
it's Jordan.
She's like, but they're cute sometimes though.
Cute.
Some of them
no,
are cute.
it was Patience with the girl.
Girl, what?
Patience was like, girl, what?
But okay, and here's the thing. I need everybody to stop. If you're looking at this, I'm gonna blast this. If you're listening to it on Spotify, go to you or Apple Podcasts, go to YouTube. Look at this picture at this moment, right? Okay. I need everybody to stop and look at everybody staring at Jordan with the plainest expression on their face. Like they're just like, oh, is that like you are so corny, right? Yeah. And Layla is just like cheesing.
Some of them are kind of cute.
Cheesing.
Like in a funny way. Like cheesing. Girl. I'm like, Layla.
Girl, what? Girl, what?
Right? What? Patience. I just can't wait till Patience be like, I've been knew this.
Literally.
Like, I have a feeling it's gonna be that thing where they try to be like finally admit to everyone that they're a thing
and
now,
they're just
and
like, finally, yeah.
finally,
Yeah.
like
Patience is gonna be
like,
I just learned my lesson. It was minding my business this time.
Oh yes. Oh snaps.
But
oh, the minding my business part, Lord.
Speaking of patience, though, we'll get to the more serious moment of the game night really quickly, and we're gonna touch on Coop and patience. So one of the questions was who's most likely to go viral. And it was like sort of between Spencer and Patience, and everybody was like choosing Patience. Like Patience, you got the voice, you got the had the gala, you were blowing up on the internet, and Patience is like, I don't. That's wait. Let me actually get Chelsea's voice. She's like, that's not me. That's not me. I was like,
get it. A plus.
That's the little laugh that she does. That's not me.
Legendary. Listen.
And it was it's very interesting that they have, they hinted at it in the previous episode with the red carpet, but they're starting to have this thing about Patience sort of being insecure. Coop was telling her about being kicked off the case, which is just like, Coop, stop talking to Patience, number one. Coop, stop talking to her. Get away from her. Get a job.
Get a job. I'm not about to play with this. I can't. No, for real though.
And
for real though.
So anyway, they're talking, and I'm sort of going through their whole story, but Coop comes to her after that, and she's just like, oh, we all feel a little bit of imposter syndrome, and I'm really curious to see sort of where they take that, because Patience was so sort of down on herself. I need them to take it away from Coop and have her have those conversations with somebody else. But at the wedding they sort of encourage each other or whatever.
Yes, they did. I did like that though.
I did like that, and I was just like, okay, we're good now. Let's not have scenes with them together anymore.
Don't have
Where's Sky? Bring Sky back.
I'm trying to figure out like where they're trying to do, like, where is Sky? In the sky? Because she ain't on the ground with the other people. She gone.
So they have that. Sky? I think it was good that they encouraged each other, and but I think
I did like that.
I think now we can cool it on the Coop and Patience scenes, because I need Patience to figure out herself.
We need Coop. I'm curious if something's gonna happen between Patience and Gia. I'm curious, because they very best friend.
But we hope. But Gia's good at her job, so we want to keep her.
We shall see.
we want
to keep her.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. But it's all American. It's drama, so they might be like, let's see.
So
I'm like, we shall see.
We shall see.
But yeah, I need to kind of see the separation between Patience and Coop. This just to like, because I really did love them together.
Yeah, and I think that they
seasons. I'm like, I hope they never break up. But
they have a strong connection. But and it's just like they've been broken up, but they've still been like in each other's atmosphere so much, and it's just like, just give
each other for so much.
Give each other,
and I seen that in that
space.
episode. But I'm just like, we need a little more space to see them flourish without each other.
Exactly.
I want to be able to be like Patience without thinking of Coop. So we shall see. I think we're getting to that point, though.
Me too. And speaking of Coop, I'm very excited. Listen, as Stan Twitter would say, this is Liv's voodoo. This is Liv's voodoo, because Coop got waitlisted. Coop got waitlisted for GAU. And she did not make. She deserved to get waitlisted, because she's been coming for Liv low key.
For Liv, I get it.
In the words of Monda, she
ride hard for Spencer.
She
I get it, but I'm like, hey, Coop, you was doing the most. Like, I get Coop where she's coming from, because Spencer, her best, and Liv was playing like tell it what it is, whatever. But yes,
Coop was doing too much, and she continues to do too much when it comes.
She always do that
with Liv in particular. The past couple episodes, to everybody, but with Liv in particular, Liv has been catching some strays with Coop.
Catching it back to
Catching
back.
them,
So
okay?
yeah, she deserved that. Not to live the voodoo
I
though.
know. I
Not
thought
stop
that
saying
little
the
shout out
voodoo.
to Stan
I'm
Twitter and
not
my
about
friend
to play.
Bella. But so that was that. But speaking of Coop again, sort of being an op, here's where we get into the drama of the game night and the secrets of the game night. Right? They had that one little joke. We had a good little laugh about Spencer being Mr. Steal Your Girl. Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved both Liv and Layla's reaction to that. They were like,
To
who could
that.
that
So
be?
yeah, because
Because they lived it.
yes, they literally lived that with Spencer. That was like that makes you just feel like, oh, this vortex is so
Yeah,
strong.
yeah. The fact that they can laugh
I
about these
love the
things,
vortex.
yeah,
Yeah,
is
they really are laughing off all the drama
and it
now, and
and
I'm
it
just like, this
it
is
gives number one, it gives you a sense of like where these characters are and how far they've matured and developed,
yeah. It
and
gives you comfort
yeah,
too.
it gives you
It's just like,
comfort, and it's just like
okay, like
another.
we're past that. We're not going to be bringing that up
It's another
again. Like, amen. Good.
indication that it's just like they all like know their history. They have a shared collect history, but they're at very
Yeah.
different points in than when they
They
were.
know each
Yeah,
other.
they know each other. They're at very
Yeah.
different points than they were in the first
And
three
they're
seasons.
accepting that.
Exactly. So they've grown a lot.
But it's obvious that they still need each other. Like, they need each other. It feels like, they have comfort with each other, and like, so they'll just let go of all the drama in the past and just like, okay, we're on
Exactly.
new things, but I still need you in my life.
Right.
And I get that vibe from the vortex for sure.
The other thing that was crazy is that like so they had a good laugh about that, and then it got into the more dramatic elements of it, like who's most likely to show up for work, right? Liv would give up anything for that job,
Yeah.
which by the way I have a problem
And
with that line because Liv wanted to stay together.
Duh,
Liv wanted to stay together, and I have to defend my
yes.
girl.
Spencer broke
Spencer
up
broke up with Liv, so I'm gonna just leave it there. So that was who's most likely to go to work early. Then it was who's most likely to have a hookup. Everybody's like, JJ,
Oh, dang, Coop.
JJ,
Yeah. JJ's like, yeah.
and then
And then Coop.
before we get to Coop, I don't think a lot of people caught this.
Oh.
Liv said Layla.
Oh. Was I focusing on that? I probably
Because then Spencer says Layla on the random hookup. And I just, again, I'm going to get back to some foreshadowing things. We're going to get back to some things and some predictions. But Liv said...
I feel like I reacted to that, but didn't study
it was such a small moment.
It was
because,
going so
because
quick.
then
Because
immediately...
I remember saying Layla.
Then immediately...
And then it goes into that.
Immediately Coop says, no, it has to be Spencer.
It has to
he
be,
just hooked up with the wedding dress girl. Coop is an op. That's all I gotta say.
Oh. Yeah, that was real awkward. Olivia, she really just had to sit back.
Everybody had to sit back after that because it's like, bro.
Yes, I'm just like,
and everybody was like, "Coop,
no,
chill."
but no,
like,
they did. No, she did say Layla though.
I love how you're stuck on that. You're like, oh wait, now I'm thinking about it. She said Layla.
No, because I'm like, I remember
because it was it was so quick, and I literally had to go back because I heard Spencer say Layla, but I was just like, who said Layla? And then I looked, and I was like, who said Layla? And so we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to that, but
she's definitely thinking of. I mean, yeah, I can see why she said that too. So.
We can see why she said it.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so that sort of just diffused that ends game night, right? That is game night going awry because she finds out about the hookup, as Coop called it, which they need to define what the hookup is. I think they need to. I think they need to define what the hookup is. They got to be very clear what the hookup was. What happened?
What? Yeah. What happened?
What happened? What happened, Mr. Spencer James, with this girl who you've been texting all night? But anyway, Coop apologizes. Patience dips. Liv dips with her. And we leave off on this with like him just saying, "I miss her, Coop. I really miss her." And so they're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get back to their night. We're gonna skip ahead to the wedding after everything's good, after everything's cool.
Oh, the wedding.
All I gotta say is Dylan's one-liners about the Dougie, because he had an earlier line about like not dancing for money. And he said, I could only do the Dougie for so long. like you said, like
Right.
this is what a hangover looks like. Like Dylan had some hilarious
Dylan, yes,
one-liners.
I love Dylan in this episode. I'm like, I'm so happy right now. I will gladly watch that
Yeah,
episode from
yeah,
beginning to
yeah.
end. No problem.
And
Yeah, because it was a really
it
good
was a
episode.
really good episode.
Shout out to
Shout out to
Dylan.
Dylan. Also, people were
Oh my
wondering if
gosh.
she was going to be there. Carter's daughter did make an appearance. She was at the altar. So she was there. So yeah, she was there.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was the OG
Yeah.
pastor from like season 1. I might be lying on that, but I don't know. He looked really similar, so I just wanted to shout that out.
All right.
I was just like,
Shout
oh,
out,
they bringing everybody back.
shout out to
I was like,
the
they bringing everybody back.
OG. Bring them
Bring
all
them all
back.
back. Like we sort of alluded to at the beginning. I'll get to why I don't like Grace that much. I
Yeah,
hated
please talk to me. I need to
there's like a
understand.
longer story, but I'm gonna just end it with on this what happened in this episode. I hated that they had Liv, because they had Liv so messed up. And usually I'm like defending the writers, but I was like, writers, come on, y'all had Liv messed up in this episode. Why is she helping Grace
See, helping
with her
Grace.
dress, mind you, after Grace was telling Spencer to move on in the last episode?
Yeah. She,
And now you in
yeah.
Liv's face talking about some, you're just young. You still haven't apologized for the affair. Question mark? Question mark?
Oh, this
Let's just
too much.
Just call
I
it what it is.
can't
I'm just
listen.
calling it what it is. I'm just calling it. Liv let you use her house for your little rehearsal to the kickback. And now you telling your son to move on, and now she over here getting your dress for you, helping you with your dress, and you're just like acting like you didn't just encourage your son to move on. Get out of my face, Grace James, swiftly.
You are. It's the. Okay, but other than that, like, because that's not taking away why I love my Gracie, but I get it, because the connection with the other character, I get it, but I'll just like, overall, Grace, I love this woman. Like, I would be heartbroken if she was to not be on the show anymore. That's how much I love her. I need this woman to just be, especially as a mother. I think she is like the most amazing mother to me. I love how she loves her kids. Like, her sons, she just, the way she protects them, I just like, and she's fun, and she always have all the fine men in the dang show too. I'm like, dang, now I'm the principal. Because look, I be riding with Grace. I like Grace, but I get that point, because I was like, why she hate her? But
On her
get
being
it,
a good parent, I have
those scenes are
absolutely
true.
nothing to say.
I mean, I think she, from what I've seen, it wasn't too crazy. And the way Spencer loves her down,
Absolutely.
the way Spencer loves her
Absolutely.
down, it shows
no one
that,
can
yeah.
say that they are not
So-
they are not a very close-knit family, for sure. And listen, I like Grace in
Yes.
episode 2, so there you go.
I mean, yeah.
I found one
episode
episode where I liked, where I was just like, okay, you're okay, and then after that,
No, I get your points though. I get it. That's you. Like, that's deep in the show. Like I feel like if I studied Grace more, because I'm mostly Jordan and Layla, so the Grace scenes that I've seen only been one time, and those, I ain't
Right.
studying like that. I'm like, okay,
you're like, oh, this
we
is
passed
film
that.
study. They come with
We
a whole
passed
other
that.
level.
Shut up.
I'm just-
Yeah, right.
like,
Y'all on a whole, y'all
y'all
dig
dig
deep. Okay, I'm like, every
literally
character.
every
I'm like,
character. So that happened. There was this whole, like, the whole wedding, the whole reception was beautiful. I have to skip a couple things.
Okay.
They had moments. Jordalis, Olivia had so many moments in the wedding. There was this cute. They had a cute scene where Grace sort of gives the bouquet to Denise.
Yeah, with Denise, that was so beautiful.
Liv and Layla stay back. Grace's sister gives a speech, which I was just like, we need to get back to Olivia and Jordela swiftly, so I don't care about this speech. But it was nice. It was cute about memories and forgiveness and blah, 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 blah. Cool. And Denise, as always, was just like, okay, but anyway, back to me. And I loved it. I loved
Denise.
it. I loved
Denise
it.
know what's good.
Before we get to Liv and Spencer and Jordan and Layla, like why everybody watches, right? I want to take this time to talk about some of the foreshadowing that they did in this episode. There was a lot of foreshadowing in this episode. Going back to this moment where Grace gives the bouquet to Denise, Liv and Layla stay back, number one, right? It was like all the single ladies to the floor. Both Liv and Layla stayed back.
Why you didn't go up, Layla?
Or Liv, right? Like why didn't the two of them?
Or Liv?
Why did the two of them go up?
Right, because Liv, you ain't.
And this, right? And not only, first of all, I appreciated how many like Layla scenes that we got in the background. I wish we could see some of those on screen.
Yes,
I wish we could see some of those on screen, but we got a lot of it in the background.
Because I'm curious to hear their conversation right now. Because I really adored them two together. Like, it'd be hella drama, but they
come back together. They
strong. Because I'm like, don't know.
I did a whole series on them. They are very strong. They are very strong.
Okay. They are strong.
But that's what I'm saying. So there's a lot of foreshadowing. So Liv helping Grace with her dress. Obviously Grace was getting married, and at the top, Layla helped Liv with her dress. So there's a parallel there. Obviously the parallel of them sort of staying back when the bouquet toss was happening. But they also, like when Grace gives this bouquet to Denise, they quick cut to Liv and Layla as well. And so it's literally all Layla, of these like wedding.
They're building
up this Olivia and Jordela, a lot of like the future wedding foreshadows. Yes. I feel like you want to move Jordan and Layla up and then end on Olivia. I feel like so. I'm a.
No, let's do Olivia.
I know who you want to talk about, girl.
Let's do them. Listen, let's do Olivia right now.
So obviously, Liv wanted to look good for Spencer. We acknowledge that she had on a girl body. The body. Body was bodying. Body was bodying.
Listen, body was given. Okay.
The dress with the
snatch. Oh,
I understand Spencer.
Oh yeah.
But Spencer, they had this great conversation as she's wearing this really great dress, and of course Spencer acknowledged it. And he's like, "Oh, nice dress." And she was like, "Oh, this whole thing." I loved how relaxed and carefree and like light she was this episode, by the way. And he was just like, "Oh, everything looks new on you," like you said, looks new on you.
New you. Look, I said, hold on,
them looks that were being exchanged, like when JJ came to interrupt him, and he was still,
I know the looks.
He was still looking at her.
Yeah. Just looking,
staring that girl down.
Looking, I was like, great chemistry. I do love their
so much good chemistry. And then we get another scene with them after the game night debacle, right? And she's just like, "Oh, you didn't have to leave the game." And again, just loved how sort of like casual Liv was. Like, I could do this by yourself.
Casual.
And like, a lot of comfort. Like the joke about what are you gonna call Principal Cardo, blah 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 blah, and like just keeping it light.
Oh yeah, it's Daddy. Yeah, that ain't gonna be.
And then Spencer, who's been getting them texts. Gets another text. And she's just like, "It's fine. You can." And whenever somebody calls a girl her, you can text her. Oh, it's fine. You're texting her.
Whenever somebody calls the girl her,
it always like cuts there.
Yes, because we just so you know, I know who it is.
It's fine if it's her.
Go
That's
ahead,
what she say. It's fine if it's her.
So
funny. But I knew that we were gonna get this hookup, but still sort of remain broken up. But it was when he said,
"I knew that
I
was
haven't
gonna
moved
happen."
on." When he clarified, "I have not moved on," and when he grabbed her arm, picked that girl up, put her on the counter.
because these are the scenes
Literally.
we watch for. We watch for moments like this. So get
your
life.
life.
Okay,
It's a very grown moment. It's a very grown moment.
It was a very grown moment.
But you could just, again, feel that you can always feel the chemistry between Spencer and Olivia, and
yes, I agree. That's something I would never like question or be like, just because I'm like Team Jordan,
right.
Jordan and Layla, but I'm like, no.
As a Olivia Jordala,
yes, the chemistry
as a
is
shipper
there, like,
of both of them, I'm like, I was eating good. I was eating good.
Okay.
I was eating good.
Yes. I'm sure you was. I'm like, imagine being just obsessed with both worlds. I'm like, girl, how are you breathing right now?
How are you breathing?
When I had to choose
when
one.
he grabbed her arm, I was like, oh.
Right. She was waiting for this part of this episode. But she was waiting.
Listen. Again, it was a really good moment, and I also feel like it was like very, there's been some discussion around how the writers have handled this breakup, but I feel like, especially like going into the wedding and the miscommunication throughout the day, right, like the eventual conversation where she says like, oh, I know what this was, and we both know what that was last night, and she says closure, right? And it's because
closure,
this man broke up with her. Like, I feel like people forget that.
Yeah,
people like Olivia doesn't see the things that we see with Spencer. She doesn't see the internal struggle or whatever that we saw with Spencer. And this girl was broken up with, and all she's seen since then is that this man is trying his best, right, to move on, and is moving on. And so she said like that was closure, and we get this moment of Spencer crying, because that is like. That's so real life, right? Like, there's always things that we want to say that we don't say, and there's things that we should have said in the moment that we don't say. And I think that, especially this episode, was such a good portrayal for their breakup. They've had some really excellent written moments with their breakup. I think in the last episode when she was just like, seeing you makes me messed up, that was an excellent line. And I think, again, just sort of how they handled this sort of miscommunication, even though they both want to be back together, they will be back together, like it,
I know it's coming. Like,
and it's just like you,
Olivia, calm down, y'all. It's just show.
If Liv would have just waited 2 seconds to say closure, right, it would have happened. But like, that is real life, and they're gonna come back together, eventually. But
they are, because like you said, Liv is not seeing what Spencer is going through, really, with this breakup. I think, like, she's just seeing it
with that perspective too. She is seeing it. She's only seeing it from her perspective. And now I think Spencer's had his fun, and I think it's time for Liv to have a little fun.
I need to see Liv let loose. I am so excited. I need to see it.
I need to see it on my screen.
Because that would have been too quick. Like, okay, y'all only been broken up for like, and now y'all back together. Like, no, I love that.
And she had to endure.
Look, we hooked up.
She had to endure the smash tour post. She had to endure the him texting, him saying, "I got somewhere to be." Like, let's eat. She has to get him back. I'm sorry.
Let's eat Spencer
She got to get him
back.
I
need Liv to be out on the streets.
At least for an episode.
Yes, I agree.
At least for an episode. So I'm excited for that.
Or a couple, okay, because it seemed like Spencer had a couple.
There you go.
So I need to see Liv just living her wildest dream, and Layla need to go have fun with her. Like, but Layla knows
she knows her home.
Just make sure Liv is having a great time. Make sure Liv is turning up.
One last thing on Spencer and Liv. They missed each other's looks. They have this thing every wedding scene that they're in where they see each other across the room, and they have these wonderful, wonderful looks across the room.
Yeah,
and they still had the looks across the room, but they missed the looks across the room.
They did
each other, and I think that also led Liv to being like, oh, it was closure. So they had those looks, and it was heartbreaking.
Yeah. See, because they're missing these looks. Yeah. I love where they're going with that. Like, now all those feelings is going to be brought up again, because they're just missing these moments of seeing, each other be like, kind of hurting over this thing. But they're both feeling the same, like, thing. I like it. I love what they're doing with the breakup. So they gonna get back together. Ain't nobody questioning that. But they need to. Yeah, it's a show.
Exactly.
Give us the drama. Give us the drama for a bit, or that missing and stuff. But yeah, like you said, I need Liv to cut up.
Period.
She deserves
and
it.
now again,
Period.
and with Layla, but we know that Layla knows where home is. You gave me that transition.
Right. Transition. I knew it was coming. I said, let me pick the right words and get into this moment.
As we said, maybe not everybody
Home.
was on their best behavior because
I was
making
not
out
listen.
in
That was like
her
the first
room.
scene.
That's how you know when I start singing.
In the room. I love the detectives that the Jordala fans are, because y'all knew it was that room
just from the
that
picture
up in. Y'all studied that promo. Y'all
listen, people were
they in the bed. It's like
people
y'all
were
are so
ready.
funny.
They were ready.
They was ready. I was just
right,
like,
and they're just like, oh, we should probably. It's kind of crazy that we're up here making out while there's like a ton of people downstairs.
But it's so.
Which, by the way, there were more. I just need to add this real quick. There were more people at the rehearsal dinner than there were at the wedding, and there were more people at the reception than there were at the wedding. And I've honestly, it's not weird. I've seen that happen. I witnessed that. I had a friend that like.
That always no. That happens
just,
a lot.
The wedding is the ceremony is just for us, and then the eating and everything is for everyone.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was funny. I just thought
that
church was small.
Yeah. But I love that it was like that.
Small.
So small.
And I'm like, how did JJ make the cut?
Right. JJ deserves it. Stop playing. Don't play with my. I love me some JJ. He deserves to be everywhere. The way this man rides for everybody in this show. Like, he loves every single human. He's the togetherness. Like, he needs to be at everything. Like, if JJ's
I don't know if
not
everything,
in fight,
but
I will
he
be
did.
Questioning, where is JJ?
He was looking. He was looking for these two people. He didn't know he was looking for these two people.
Yes.
And so, you know who else? You know who else came searching while they were in the middle of kissing? Liv.
Oh yeah.
And listen, there was a whole discourse about it. Are they gonna lock the door? They have not been careful. They are the worst secret keepers on earth. But the door was
she locked because she was trying to. I think Liv was. Yes. So I'm glad about that. Oh my gosh.
I was just like, good for you, Layla, actually taking steps to hide.
No, before we get to let's just go back to how they were kissing.
I'm gonna let you take it away.
Listen, the way that they were making out, because you know
I
gotta
you readjusted yourself.
Like, especially,
you said I gotta stand up for this.
Listen, because I was just like, first of all, it was Layla being on the lap. That was hot or whatever. But the way they were kissing, like, did you see Layla kiss this boy? And then she kind of came up and was tasting her lips. Like, she was... I don't know. Stop playing with me. She was devouring this boy. I was like, Layla is just... She said...
I don't...
I was just like, girl, is you hungry? Is you hungry? Is it he tasty? I thought that was so
I have
hot
never
to me.
been
I
have never
like,
been
y'all
brought
are...
like speechless on this podcast, but you just
Listen, I was eating that up. I said, no, she wasn't eating his lips. But then you see it, right?
He's not going anywhere, Layla. Like, and I mean, for him
she
too.
Really be on top of this boy. Like,
there was a meme of him like squeezing her thigh, right? And the
back.
And
then the thigh and the back.
They did the little sandwich like squeeze. I gotta put the tweet. I'm gonna send it to you and put it on the video.
Oh, I haven't even seen the tweet yet. I'm gonna
put it up on the video so y'all can see that.
Read everybody's tweets.
Very hilarious. Okay. But yeah, so Liv interrupts them, and you know she's just like, Jordan, you're so slow. She's trying to push him in the bathroom, which I think she's definitely in his own room. She's in his old room.
Old room, which is so beautiful. I like y'all are snatching me up.
And Liv is just like, hey, why is the door locked? Girl, what is this?
Like, you never locked this before, like.
Which is probably why she said, right, the random hookup. And so then she's just like, oh, I need help with the dress, blah blah blah. They have a cute little conversation. Layla's like, you're killing it. Okay, now leave, get out. And she's just like, okay,
She's
well,
like, you seen
you
Jordan?
gotta,
Wait, she was like,
yeah,
yeah, because your lipstick is a little smudged.
got a little something. You gotta fix your makeup. Your lipstick is looking. She's like, oh, thank you.
Yes.
Jordan comes out.
Yes. Then Jordan
you were
comes
so
back
strong.
out. Oh, that
And
scene.
they have this really great conversation. I can't get through everything that they said, but they have this really great conversation about him saying that they can slow down, right? Because Layla's just like, everything is kind of moving fast, and I don't want to drown in the judgment of the vortex.
That turned Layla on. She was just like, excuse me, Jordan? You're mentioning
Literally.
like waiting for
Should
sex
I be?
and stuff?
I don't know whether to be insulted or offended or
she was like,
I know
no,
that she was just like, oh, that's kind of this new mature Jordan is kind of sexy.
And I love that she said, I'm loving this mature. Yes, because that's the thing we be worried about, because he's not as mature
not
as
at all.
Layla
It's
is.
Jordan.
Like, we all know that, but he's like, he was like, but he knows how to turn that on
when he's with her, and it's always been he's always been that way with her specifically.
He never been immature around that I've seen. Nothing, because I would have been like, oh no, he too kitty for Layla, get away. But no, he been
416 was a very special episode. But yeah, other than that, literally.
But yeah,
or 419, but like
episode.
literally just so many. More often than 9 times out of 10, Jordan is very mature when it comes to Layla.
Very mature.
And so they say they agree to sort of slow down. Really quickly, Jordan jumping from off the stairs. And Layla looking back, she knew where her man was.
About that part. Yes,
my man.
She knew. My man. Hey, speak it. The way he flew down them stairs didn't make no sense. I'm like,
Liv being like, and him like fixing her lipstick.
Open the door, shut it.
And I'm like, Liv,
this is so funny.
Liv, you already know. You already know what it is. You just need to go and talk to them about it.
I think, yeah. I'm like, does she know? But it's like she knows.
It is very much like she knows, but she doesn't know. And I'll add this.
But she don't know. So
I'll add
just
this,
like,
and I'll just put this for food of thought. Drowning in the judgment of the vortex. I will say this. Layla only cares about 2 people's opinions. They are twins.
Olivia, yeah.
And so she doesn't care about anybody else except Olivia. And so I think you could sub Liv in for whenever Layla mentions the vortex. And I'll talk about that later on.
Yes, I agree 100%. Because what would she care about? She don't care about. It's definitely Olivia. Literally, that is her best friend's twin that she's have these crazy feelings for now. So I cannot wait for this to just unravel.
We're gonna see where this goes. And so anyway, so that happens, right? Liv sees Jordan, sees the whole Kim coming in. She's like, "Go help with the guests." Blah blah blah. Here's the part you love with JJ when he's like, "Never touch a black woman's hair," because Jordan's sort of unconsciously playing with Layla's hair.
Man, when does this end? Because the way I want to get.
I know. I'm sorry.
Like, how much time we got on here?
Look, we're on different coasts, people. So as much as we want to have this great long conversation, our schedules won't allow.
We should have talked.
I said we could move them up.
Oh my God! Yeah, we should have. You did. I'm like, don't worry. I talk about a lot in Jordan and Layla in my reaction, obviously. But man, oh my goodness.
Audience, you already know that you're gonna get content on Jordan and Layla from both of us, so don't be like, that was it. Would you?
Right?
I know.
Like
the way we want to eat this up.
Now, but yes, the way he was playing with his hair. Oh my gosh! But since we have to get to the bedroom.
Real quick on the hand holding, you were like, I need to get to the bedroom. No. On the hand holding, really quick.
Yes.
That was the moment. To your point about the bedroom, that was the moment that I was just like, everybody should have guessed what was going to happen, because mind you, they're in between Billy and Laura and Olivia.
Yes,
and they cannot keep their hands off each other.
And you saw
that it was just like
That was
Do y'all need to
so
do y'all need to
beautiful.
leave the room?
And it's the way it was the way Layla.
Do you need to leave the room?
Right. The way Layla
Yeah.
was going under his hand, though. She felt so much comfort. Like, you just see all the comfort that Layla sits in when she's around Jordan. I never seen her this
And all
comfortable
of the
in this
desire
show.
along with that, like you saw that from both of their again, like
yeah.
if y'all need to leave, if y'all need to exit the church, just say that.
The church, and you be forgetting you in the church. Like,
I'll be forgetting where you are. And so again, sort of the foreshadowing. We mentioned the foreshadowing. We mentioned them looking at each other, and so then they have a wedding dance, right? And it's just like a glad we're slowing down. I don't care where we land as long as you're in my arms.
And you just seen the looks they
as
were
long as you're in my arms, and that
he was like when he was like doing it the right way. Did you see his face when he was like, yeah, doing it the right way? And I was like, Jordan.
I don't care what label we land on as long as that's what did it for her.
That line, my drawers would have been dropped at that moment. Sorry, right there at the dinner.
Well, clearly, I mean, it didn't take long because the very next, literally, it ends on his line. Cut to literally every chance I get. Cut to. Wow. Okay, we didn't put the we didn't put the brakes on it.
So everything, mind you, I was hyped. Everything, all the scenes eating me up. Everything, but for them to skip past the love scene,
I think we're gonna get it when we get their I love yous.
Listen, but that was their first time.
There's two schools of thought that I have here. One is that we might get it with the I love yous because Jordan and Layla are Jordan and Layla, and I think that they wanted to show the difference between because we got the waiting thing, right? I understand how you feel. We got the waiting thing with Spencer and Olivia, and I think they really might wait till the I love yous, or Michael just has it in his contract that he does not do
sexy.
Yes, he's the only one who hasn't had one. So literally, it's either the I love yous or it's just in Michael's contract, and we're never gonna get it.
Cause him and Simone never had a
no. They had like a brief thing on Homecoming, but even that was like
very kissing.
Not as. But again, I don't know if that's actually true. It's either that or they're just waiting to their I love yous.
Okay, but all right, I understand that if it's not. But okay, let's say that's not it. We deserved to see after all this build up, all the tension, and we didn't get to see it. Y'all just teased us with the heavy breathing and stuff, but we didn't get
they were doing push-ups before that. They were doing push-ups before they got in the bed, for sure. They're like,
for sure. But it's just like, just speaking of it as a fan watching it, it's just like all that build up. Like, we deserved a love scene. My heart was a little broken from that. I was like, I mind you, I love the bed scene. It was so beautiful. The way they talked to each other, the way they went into the kiss and like grabbed each other. Like, I will eat off of that. I will. But just the fact that we didn't get to see more. Yeah, we deserve that. So that's
I gotta sit with that a little bit.
I can't help it.
I gotta sit with that a little bit.
I'm so invested. Yeah, because I know we're going to get some. Hopefully we do. Hopefully it's not in his contract that he doesn't do that. If not, we need to rewrite this contract real quick, baby. Like, Layla, that's your best. Greta is your best friend. Like, y'all comfortable around each other. Give us a little something, okay? Like, because baby, no, we need more. That better not.
Yeah, I understand the disappointment. But what I loved is actually that we did get to sit with them with this moment with her being like, maybe it's not a bad thing that we didn't slow down. I think it was like intentional, right? They would use the speeding it up. They sped it up really quickly. But
they did. I wasn't ready for that. I can say that was something. I was like, I thought we would wait for sex a few more episodes. Because it just seemed like, but it
was very them. It's very Jordan and Layla.
Her mentioning, like, when they were in the room, she was like, I feel like it's rushing. Like, I love that they brought that up in the beginning. And then Jordan's like, well, let's slow it down. I love that they kind of had that moment where it's just like, okay, do we slow down? Do we not? It's just like, because mind you, they've been slowed down since season 1. They should have been sped up. Been looking. They're finally just at that point where it's just Yes.
all of their pent up feelings. You could see all of their pent up feelings. You could see just every single scene in this episode,
Yeah.
even in the background. Even when
It
they were in the
just
background and
released.
talking,
It
and you saw
did.
them in the background several times.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh my gosh.
what she said is, you know, she essentially like wants to be together, but I want
Yes,
to
I
be
want to
together.
be together.
It's the little I want to be together, but she's so
She's so
sweet,
she is like in her
literally.
puddles
And
when
she's
it.
like, but she doesn't want to tell the Vortex yet because she wants to protect what they have a little
Yeah,
longer, a little longer,
and
a
then
little
a
longer.
little. Oh, that really
Um,
hurt. A little longer. She's just so soft. She's so
she
soft
is,
around this boy. So cute, Jordan was
yeah,
so just cheating. He's
literally.
like, all
And she's
right,
like, yeah.
and went
When he
straight to
says
that was
okay, and she
beautiful, and
says
the
yeah,
way they kissed
I
and
love
brought each
that.
other in. Yeah, yeah.
I love
Oh,
that. I love that. I love that. I love that.
I love seeing this. I can't wait. I'm about to be rewatching these scenes
And
all
as we know,
freaking
as
day.
they're having this moment, as they're deciding to be official, after
Yes,
look, listen, after Layla checked that box, right? That wouldn't happen because you have to grow a pair. He grew a pair.
right. Oh,
They
he
did the
grew it,
thing, and she
honey.
was just like, "Oh no."
He
She was
been
like,
growing that
"Oh, we
pair.
together now, real bad."
Oh yeah, he was like, yeah, we here, we together, and that's another moment I did love. I was like, oh, because people need to start pretending like sex ain't it, because like if you good in bed, honey, and you got all the other, we together. Let's get married right now.
Listen, she said what she said. We together real bad. She put on her Carisha.
Look, we together. We real bad because he was like, dang, you grew a couple pairs. I only said one. Like, dang, she
They are
is
in
living
love.
it up. And I already. That's why I'm just like, why didn't we get to see some
I
of
think
that?
we're gonna get it with their I love yous, right? She still said I see the one that what was her line about the guy that I have feelings for without feeling like I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, that was so beautiful. Oh, the lines,
Yeah,
the lines
we're
between
so
them.
good. We're so good. And then JJ put two and two together.
JJ,
That is the
keep
cliffhanger.
digging. And it was so funny because when he was taking the photo,
And they were just like, "Oh, he doesn't know."
He was taking the photo of them. They were like, "He has no
Y'all
clue."
getting a little too comfortable.
None at all. But he's
Y'all
sober in the
dancing,
moment.
her hands are around your neck. You are definitely not being slick. You are the worst secret couple ever.
He said the pantsuit.
Had to cut it off right there, but I hope that you enjoyed me and Brittany talking about episode 504, Turn Down for What. Stay tuned for our predictions, and we hop back on so that we could give y'all a little bit more content on both Olivia and Jordela. So stay tuned for the next episode.